elk, garlic, rosemary. It's really yummy. And beef fat.
We are gonna make elk burgers. So James shot an elk. So we have elk right here actually. That's hind shank elk coming right out of the back leg. You can tell by all those little bits right there. But we're gonna grind that up so it's all nice and soft and doable. We're using pork fat because that's what we had at the shop. You use beef fat too. We're going for about a 20% ratio, which I think is kind of a good balance of super lean elk meat and some fat so it isn't super dry. Less than 20%, it's just kind of dry and not good, so just don't do that. Anyways, we want to cut this into, see this hole for the grinder? That's about the size. It's probably like coming up on 2 inches. So you want to cut your bits of meat, you know, a little bit smaller than the hole in your grinder. Pork right here, cut all that into little bits. Plop. Totally use beef fat. We just, like I said, we had pork fat. Beef fat is dope. It doesn't mix quite as well. It's more kind of granular. Pork fat is a little nicer. All right, so we're gonna mix up the elk. It's all cut up in little bits that will fit inside the grinder right here. Roughly 20%, because that's what's good. We're not gonna mix salt in. That's gonna go right before it goes in the grill. We'll talk about that later. Pestle and mortar for the black pepper right here. And then we'll do some garlic. And then, whoop, lost some garlic, but we're not gonna use all the garlic. And then we're gonna get rosemary from the neighbor's house. And then we're gonna smear a little bit of our shop's garlic rosemary pork butter on there. It's literally just that, garlic, rosemary, salt, black pepper, a high acid white wine. We grind it, and then we knead the hell out of it, and then we form it into a block, and we smear it on everything from potatoes, and right now we're gonna put it on a bun. Toast the bun with it.
Just say toast the buns again?
We're just gonna toast the buns. Yeah, I like toasty buns.
That was just for me. All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, let's get back to business. Let's grind this up. We'll have a pile of meat, and then we'll mince this up, fold it in, and then we're just gonna cook it over a fire with a bun. That's it. Lettuce, no. Tomato, no. Onion, not today, but it's cool if you do an onion. Just cook good meat, season it properly, that's it. And then also you always wanna have the meat cold and feeding through here at a consistent rate, because right now we have metal on metal and that heat builds up lickety split. Alternate meat fat, relatively speaking, because you always want to have things pre-mixed, if you will. And you do this, no more meat coming. As soon as no more meat, turn that sucker down. And its plate's nice and cold. So we got ground elk and ground pork fat. Give it a quick mix. I'm gonna eyeball how much rosemary I wanna use. This is a subjective thing, right? But the meat isn't super tacky because you haven't broken down the protein structure that much. You just kind of mechanically chopped it up. So when we put it through a second grind, it'll bind in. The little meat protein, little stringies, those will increase and it'll be more of a cohesive unit once we do a second grind. So all the tech folk out there, you guys should get your asses in gear and create smell-o-vision. For Pete's sake, this smells really good. This will also get minced up, getting sent through the grinder. So I'm not too particular about it. You can give it a rough chop, but once again, perk of grinding your own meat. You don't have to fully mince everything because it gets minced in the grinder. So another reason to not buy pre-ground beef, just buy some meat and grind it yourself.
So what you're saying is go and grinder.
Yeah, go and grinder.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. James has the puns. And then I'm going to just sprinkle all the rosemary on there, like so. And a little bit of garlic. Pack it in, fold it in. A little bit more garlic, fuck it. I like garlic. There we go. Okay, spread that out a bit. We're gonna do black pepper. Before I do black pepper, James, over here. Takes away your whiskey. In my pestle and mortar size, which this won't translate in the world of TV, I usually do like a tablespoon or so, or else it bogs down in the pestle and mortar. That was a little heavy on the black pepper, but it'll still taste delicious. There we go. Give that a quick fold. And then since I'm missing my hopper, this is gonna be really awkward. We're gonna make little sausage things. Okay, so while James was taking a whiz and Tula wasn't listening, Tula is his wife who's doing the audio. So I gotta do this because I don't have the hopper. It's a little tray that sits here, makes everything a lot more efficient. Okay. If anybody's wondering about my meat grinder, this thing is from like the late 70s, early 80s. It has an oil pan with oil in it. So it's kind of dope. Okay, now we make burgers. Hey everybody, we are going to cook James's elk that we just seasoned, as you know, with just some garlic and rosemary. Didn't put salt in it because you don't want to put salt in meat if you're cooking a burger ahead of time, because the salt helps bind the meat and we want it to be crumbly. So we're gonna apply the salt right before we cook it. But we got everything for a good burger. First and foremost, salt. Second, we have beef fat that we make here at the shop. It is a stick of salty, smoky beef fat that looks just like a stick of butter, but it's not. It's just all beef fat with salting and some seasoning. Freshly ground black pepper. Got some pickles for acid, a little bit of mayo because James wants mayo because he's a bitch. That's a lie. And a little bit of mustard for some more acid. And then just a quick little onion for, once again, a bit more bitiness. Oh yeah, and beer.
Cheers.
All right, we're gonna load this outside. We're gonna start a fire and we're gonna cook some meat. Life is good. Ciao. We're just letting that thing heat up, build the fire. Started putting some maple wood on there. So we're gonna build up some hardwood. You don't wanna cook with softwood. Lose my arm hair on that one. Look at the little singy bits right there. All right, we are going to make a couple patties. It's not a pub burger. It's not a smash burger. It's just a really good burger. That's all. You know, people might ask, oh, how much? About that much. Yeah, you know. One of the things I do like to do though is smash them, prep them out thinner because they'll inevitably shrink up. So, all right. Good generous amount of salt on the burger, like so. Press it in so it doesn't fall off. All right, and we're gonna put the tacker, just nestle that in there, get it nice and red hot. Let that kind of slip into the burger. And now we're gonna take this, chop off a couple hunks for the tacker. We'll get the buns on here, give those a quick little toast.
Dirty boy with that mayonnaise.
Yeah. Mayo. Little mustard. A little bit of black pepper.
Now we're gonna finish tack the burgers. Quick deep fry with some beef fat and a couple pickles. We don't really need cheese because it's juicy enough with just the tacker and the beef fat.
What about bacon, Zeph?
Bacon is for suckers. It's a way to make your burger. If you're putting bacon on your burger, you're just cutting corners. It's just a cheat. It tastes good, don't get me wrong, but like, just make a proper good burger. That's it. Scoop up all the drippings. Yep. Oh, see him crying, it's so good. I am in the smoke seat. Yep. Elk, garlic, rosemary. It's really yummy. And beef fat.